Welcome back, folks. Look what we got here. Paint. No, I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of paint. But if you remember, I painted the front of this already once, but there were some sanding scratches in it I wasn't happy with. So I've wet sanded it down, and to be honest with you, you could just buff it out now. You wouldn't even see them. But I did burn through on a corner. It happens. So rather than to do a touch up and then buff, I just put a couple more coats of paint on it for 10 or 12 bucks. I don't feel like buffing for 10 or 12 bucks. Plus, there'll be more coats of paint, so it could be buffed out in the future if Tom wants to. So I'm going to get after that. Won't bore you guys with it. I'm going to paint the bumper. Again, I'll just show you when I get to it. We're not going to get into paint videos today, but I got things back mashed. It's ready just to be shot. This is done. We can get it on the truck. Then we can get the fender on, get the air conditioning and get the hood on. This is going now. I made my order. You're so proud of me. I know. Almost 3 hours. I don't know how that happened. Got aftermarket air conditioning, full kit coming for the 1968 in bright white. That's an aftermarket. I've got one on my 71. I like it. It works well. He got the computer digital controls. That'll be fun. Check that out. Couple grand for air conditioning. I know it seems like a lot of money, but you're going to enjoy it every time you drive it. These trucks, drive them in the summer more than anything. You'll never regret it. Pony up spending money. It's the way it is. I do think, though, if you want to rebuild an old air conditioning unit on your truck, it's more complicated. It seems like there's a whole lot more to it. I haven't done one before. But on the 72 in Avalon Green, I want it all original. So I ordered all the parts and pieces to put that one together original because that's a classic original truck. So we got that coming in the future. I ordered a ton of stuff. Show you guys how to put in the new window vent. I got that coming. I already started a video, but we'll do a whole video on the window vent so you can see how it actually goes. I hurt my thumb the other day, so we're going to hold off on that video because there's a lot of thumb work on that one. You got to be in perfect shape. But putting in the window tracks and the doors, there's a couple little tricks I can show you to make it easier. But all that's coming up. Just got a lot going on. We're going to bounce around like I always do. Also, putting a pinion seal in the 1971 C10 in Spanish gold. Pinion seal, carrier bearing. I think that's all. But I might throw some clips into that too. So exciting week. I'm bound to touch on something you like. You know how I jump around in the shop, but that's how projects go. Got to focus on this right now. Got to focus on that later. You get it. But I'm getting to work. I'll be back in just a second. Welcome back, folks. Today we're working on a 1971 C10 in Spanish gold. Sorry if it's noisy in here. It's a big building and it's a little bit echoey. We got a lot going on today, but we'll see what we can get done. I'm putting Posi rear end in it. It's over there. I should grab it for you. Putting a Posi track in this. For those of you that are unaware, Posi track means that when you give it the throttle and you spin a tire, both will spin versus a limited slip, only one spins. So this is the model I bought. That's what we're putting in. I don't know if it's the best one. If it's a good one, I don't know. It's the one I found. It's the one I got. So differential. I'm also going to do the hanger bearing. So we've got, now that we've got the drive shaft loose anyway, I might as well do the carrier bearing on it. And then we have a transmission leak. I don't know if we're going to address that today. I put a new seal in it, but it leaks. The pinion seal, you guys remember I did that, I think last year. It leaks. So we're going to replace both those again. We're going to look at them really close. I already looked at the bearing surfaces and the seal surfaces. Everything looks good, but we'll get through it and figure it out. I just wanted to bring you guys along so you can see what's going on. I'll bring you back a couple more times as we do the job. We have to remove both axles out of the pinion area. Then we have to pull out the ring and pinion, get it out on the table, and remove everything in there so we can put that, bolt that in. It's going to be a process. We're not going to do it the right way because we're not trained for this. But we're going to get it in there, and it's going to work. Yeah, I guess we'll see about that later. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. If it goes bad, then I'll take it to somebody and pay probably $1,000, to be honest with you. Not going to get into a lot of money on this video, but in the next few videos coming up, we're going to cover a lot more pricing of what things are for you guys that are doing this kind of thing and thinking about what it costs. If you want to put a Posi in, I think that was like $400. They're not cheap. So today they're probably 600 because I bought it last year. You know how that goes. But if we run into any troubles, I'll show you. I'll throw you in a few clips here as we go. I'm going to get this drive shaft out now so I can do that carrier bearing. I'll do it on a table. I'll show you how that works. Not fun, but it's a good idea to have a video showing you how it comes apart. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to get this apart and I'll bring you guys back. All right, folks, here's where we're at. We got that all pulled out of there. Yeah, I'm not going to show you guys how to do this because I don't know what I'm doing. We got the old ring and pinion out right here, but I hadn't got new bearings for it. And I don't have a bearing puller, so I just went to the store and got new bearings, $20 a piece. That's fine. So now we're going to we took the ring gear off of this, just taking all these bolts out. We put it onto the new Posi traction one, and now we're going to try and fit that back where I just showed you. We don't have a shim kit. If it doesn't fit perfect, we'll be coming back another day. But I wanted to just bring you in, show you where we're at on this mess. See, over here, we've got the new one, got all the bolts back in, the ring gear's on. I got to press those bearings on now, and then we'll see where we're at. We'll get back with you. It's a chore. It's a job. You've got to pull your axles out. At least, get them out of the way to get all that ring and pinion out of there. So, again, something not just anybody should try. I'm really not helping you with this. We did figure out some other things, though. And I try to get you in to show you, but this under the truck stuff's hard, even with a hoist. I had a leaky transmission. You guys remember last year, I thought it was a dipstick. So I've got that all urethaned in. It doesn't leak. Rear main on the motor. I rebuilt that motor. I thought it leaked. Nope, it doesn't leak. The input shaft to where the torque converter goes in the transmission. I thought that might be leaking. Nope, I put a new seal on that. It's not leaking. Turned out it's your downshift, your shift cable. When you downshift and you jam on it, that has an O-ring around the base of it where it goes into the transmission. I can't get you in there to see that, but basically you have to pull the pan off to unhook that cable. Pull it out. It just has an O-ring on it. Wouldn't hurt to change transmission oil anyway. So that's where I'm at. I'll try and get you in when you can see something that's kind of fun, but I wanted to kind of give you a little idea how things are going. I got to go. Welcome back to the shop, folks. I don't know what I'm doing with one glove on. I should have a glove on that hand. I tell you about, I hurt my thumb. That's not that great of a story, but neither is anything else I'm going to tell you. Not doing any work for the next 10 minutes, just real quick on the video. I want to tell you guys where I'm at. You guys like to watch, see what's going on in the shop. Things usually work pretty good in the shop. I complain about little things because I don't have much to complain about. Life's generally pretty good. I know how to work on these trucks and it all usually goes pretty smoothly. Some things take me a long time, but I don't really have any troubles. That's not the case today. Did you see that? Is that in the screen? I don't even want to talk about that, but let's get that out of the way. So the last few clips you were looking at was me over in Tom's shop. We're going to put in a Posi rear end. The truck just spins the right rear tire, and I'm tired of it. I don't try to spin my tires. You don't have to try with that truck. Give it a little gas and tire spinning. So I kind of like Posi rear end in it. Then when I do decide to spin the tires, it'll spin both. That's kind of cool. The rest of the time I'll get a little better traction. Sometimes going uphill on a gravel road or driveway, I just spin that right rear tire. There's not enough weight on the back of these trucks. So keep that in mind. But just don't even do it. That's all I can say. Don't do it. Just don't. So what we did is we took this old one out. I'm going to make sure you're in screen. What we have here is the open differential rear end. This goes inside the pig we used to call it when I was a kid, in the center of your axle, that ball. This is what's inside of there. And it's an open, meaning that either tire can spin at will. It doesn't matter. And what I did was I bought one. It's in here. And as you see, in here is pretty much missing because that's all on the floor over at the shop. But there's special things in here that make it where it spins both tires. Anyhow, somebody had been in here before, like a lot of things, and they had marred up a few things, but not as bad as I did. I'm being honest. I drove. I don't know where to tell you guys how this went. Yeah, if I crouch down, that ain't gonna be fun. So I went to the Saturday. Okay, so Saturday morning, I went to my local parts store, 6 miles away, and I picked up some parts that I know I needed, and they had them. It was fine. Then we were short a part. We needed a part I didn't know we needed, so I drove an hour to the next parts store that's open on Saturdays, and they had some parts, some wrong parts, and they sold me some good parts and some bad parts and some wrong parts. So I made two trips. So there's 2 hours of my day. And on the second trip, they said, "Oh, that $10 part, we don't have that. Well, we can order it, but there's $14 shipping on it." So they couldn't get it today. I couldn't get the job done. That's why we're back in my shop. I ruined this, which is going in the junk pile anyway. I'm never going to use it. Never going to put an open rear end in something. So that's not a big deal. But we've kind of got the truck tore apart now to where we can't drive it and we don't know how to put it back together. That's the bottom line. Now, Tom knows a lot more about this than I do, and he's done a few of these before, but like in Jeeps and stuff. And if they go smoothly, you pull out the differential and you put in a new one, whatever you call this thing, and everything goes smooth, cool. But if it needs shimmed over and this one didn't seem to want to fit right, he's not a rear end specialist. He doesn't work on these every day. So I'm going to try to get a hold of a guy. Maybe we can have him meet us over to Tom's shop. I can pay him to show us how to do it and just to do it and get it back together. Or I'm going to tear the entire rear end out and I'm going to take it to a guy I know who can do it. And I'll just pay to get it done. So the moral of the story is if you're a home mechanic and you know how to do this, man, more power to you. If you don't, just don't. I'm pretty good. I can figure most stuff out, but this is over my head. So that's what I got for you so far. But I do have more stuff. See, told you to be slow. I do have a few things. All right. The next thing I want to cover with you is this little thing. I think we talked about this. This is the switch that when I tried to unplug it, when I had it, this is on a 1972. When I tried to unplug it, I pulled the guts out. And there's really nothing going on in there. It's just an on-off button. That's all it is. It turns your air conditioning on, or when it plungers in, it's off. Well, don't quote me. It might be the other way around. I don't remember today, but that's pretty simple. That's all it does. I put it back together, and it seems to work. But I thought maybe I'll buy a new one. $65, folks. $65. Yeah, I didn't buy one, and I'm not going to, and I'm not going to lose either. So while I'm talking, I'm going to put it back where I know where it's at, over here by the door that I didn't get painted for other reasons. This part, you guys might remember. I'm almost done. This is that intermittent air box that deflects where all the air goes, where the heat goes. Remember the flapper was broke in it and I didn't know how to fix it? Well, I was laying in bed the other night thinking about it because that's what I do. And I thought I can fix that flapper, but how am I going to know where the arm was supposed to be? I don't know. That's going to be difficult. I don't. I don't mind telling you, folks. I give up on it because you can just buy it new. I'm sorry. If I can fix something and it isn't really this complicated, or if it isn't this hard to get back out, I might need two tries at it. I'm not against the guy doing that. I try it. But when it's this much work, I don't want to do it twice. So for $115, I've got a new one coming. And it'll have the flap and it'll all be right. And I can just enjoy my truck because the weather's already getting nice and I can't drive it tore apart. And now I just tore apart I own two of these trucks, two C10s, basically C20. Both of them drivable last summer, and now I've ruined them both where I can't drive either one. They're not ruined. But there's all I got for today. I'm going to try to come out in the shop tomorrow. I don't usually work on Sundays, but I'm frustrated enough. I'll come out here in the shop, get this door painted, get that bumper prepped and maybe painted. It ain't super exciting work. I need to get some progress going. If I really feel ambitious, I might paint one of these. Let's paint more paint and paint. We're going to be past the paint in just another minute. Probably next week I'll have some. Matter of fact, next week I'm going to have some mechanical work. We're going to put something together. We're going to get going. bear with me. It's just in that in between stage. So that's it for right now. I'll be right back with you in a minute. All right, folks, that's about it for this week. That was a full week of getting pretty much nothing done. I don't know. A little progress. You get something tore apart and where you can't put it back together, you're halfway there, right? Yeah, maybe. Anyway, I got the final coat of paint on this door, and I'm pretty happy with it. There's no sanding scratches in there whatsoever. But there's a little bit of orange peel. I don't know. I'm almost wondering sometimes if it isn't can by can, depending on how much stuff is in there, paint versus thinner. And I don't know. It was cool in the shop, 65 degrees. It should have laid down flat. I laid it on pretty thick. Anyway, it's got like 8 coats of paint on it now. So if Tom wants to wet sand it and buff it out, it will shine nice. That's done. We can start assembling it. Next time you come, we're putting this on the truck. Hope that goes good. We throw the hinges on, door handle, latch. We're going to get it on the truck. I've been waiting to do that. I've been wanting to do that. Get this truck put together and get it down the road, right? We're not that close yet. Look, I ain't painted that. But this is painted up. The door's done. I got a ton of stuff coming. The door trim, door rails, door everything. Everything you can think of to finish this truck. I mean, I'm sure I forgot something. And then, real quick, I'll take over here. I've got the 1972 C20 in Avalon Green. This here's the bumper. It's all prepped and ready to go. I just need to prime and paint it. You guys are like, more of that? But I did have a couple little spots. I just use Spot Buddy. It's fine. And I'll get this coated next week so that when our light covers and seals and all that comes in, I can start reassembling stuff. We're going to get the air conditioning going on that green truck. So we're going to focus a little bit on 1972, the Avalon green truck, for a little bit. Between that and Spanish gold, so I can get something on the road. I got 2 doggone trucks I drive, and I can't drive either one of them. Then we'll get right back on the white 68 in bright white. And then this thing over here, yeah, it's still sitting there until I throw it in the junk pile. Tired of looking at it. But that's it for this week, folks. Thanks for coming. Thanks for staying. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the thumbs up. I just can't thank you enough. I appreciate you all. Next week, we're going to have some fun. I mean, I think it's going to be fun. I don't know what you're looking forward to, but hang in that door, go through some of these parts and pieces and see what we got. We're going to discuss some money. We're going to discuss some costs. And I'll hint you, you guys that waited to the last minute and listen to what I got to say to the end, I'm going to give you a little tidbit. Tomorrow, I go see the guy about C10s. He's got like 10 of them, but they're kind of rough. The last time him and I talked, it was 2 years ago, we had discussed him finding a title and me picking out parts and pieces to build another truck. So that's tomorrow. So when you come back next Sunday, we're going to discuss that. We're going to get, this is going to be finished. The door's going to be probably hung on there. Hopefully we can talk about a good story with my Posi rear end. And when I get that done, I want to do a quick show of the Spanish gold truck. I never did kind of do it. It's finished. I did a walk around, but do a little burnout with it. Let you guys hear it. I know the sound is a little goofy when it comes over the television speakers and such, but you'll get a feel for it. Get a view of watching it actually driving. Maybe somebody can help me videotape that, but I thought you guys would enjoy it. I should have done it last year. When the white truck leaves, we're going to do a little smoke show with that thing because this 6-liter ought to run good. Don't hold your breath. It won't be this week or next, but it's coming. All right, take care. I got to go.